For the first time ever, we have four women co-chairs for Le Bal Rouge. They are each titans in their industries, from finance and assets management to aviation. We are fortunate to have these powerhouses supporting respiratory care. One of the co-chairs of this year's event on May 26th is Maria Della Posta. She is the president of Pratt& Whitney Canada and a member of the MUHC Foundation's board of directors. Thank you so much for joining us, Maria.
Thank you, Tara. Great to be with you.
Now, I'm so fascinated about your professional trajectory. Tell me about how you went from where you began to becoming president of Pratt& Whitney Canada.
Well, I'm very fortunate. I grew with the company. We went from a one product line company to today more than 12 product families. And every one of those, we entered new segments, and I had the opportunity to learn about the business at every step of the way. And so I've had many careers in my time here, and I've grown with the company, with the business.
So how long have you been with the company then?
This will be my 38th year. Yeah,
Amazing.
it's quite the love story.
That doesn't happen very much anymore, does it? Most people tend to jump around right now, but I love that I love the way you put it. It's a love story. That's amazing.
I'm very fortunate. But, I still think that there's an opportunity for, in a business like ours, as a global leader, we have something to offer everyone. We have, around the world, we work on some of the most advanced technologies. We have something for everyone, whether you love finance or logistics or are a rocket engineer.
Now, there are not a lot of women, not enough women, in my opinion, in leadership positions like yours. Do you see yourself as someone who is showing others that it can be done, sort of mentoring women as they're growing in their careers?
I think we've all come to appreciate the importance of role models in every part of life, and so I don't, take that lightly. And I would say that I've worked for generations of leaders here who have been big promoters of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and I think that we need to look at that very broadly in society. I do also feel very strongly that, that's why I commit a fair amount of my time outside our four walls, because we need to take an interest in young people. It's very early on that a spark might be created that will lead into something else. And so the children are really where we need to put a lot more attention.
So true. Now, one of the things you do outside of your four walls is being a part of the MUHC Foundation's board of directors. What does that mean for you to work alongside the MUHC Foundation and its mission to change the course of lives in medicine?
Well, it's very rewarding. In terms of the positive contribution that we can all make to bringing what is such an impressive institution to a city like Montreal, a province, like a country like Canada. The ability to have the research side, the hospital side, and just the understanding of how diseases can be hopefully eradicated, but how we can become more and more predictive and preventative and making lives of our community, our friends and families better here in our community.
Now, what inspired you, on top of your work with the MUHC Foundation's board of directors, to become a co-chair of this year's Le Bal Rouge?
Well, MUHC plays an instrumental role in healthcare, locally, globally. Most recently, I saw firsthand the role of the MUHC in our fight against COVID. It really opened up my eyes, and I think all of our eyes, to the pressures of our frontline healthcare, and across the entire value chain, all the way to research. And so, who amongst us hasn't been touched? And I found that it was an opportunity I couldn't pass up to get to know a little bit more what I could do to bring my skills and capabilities to help the foundation to raise more money so we could do more. There's so much that's required in the area of research and medicine in general and healthcare in general. So, that the Bal Rouge is a big component of our fundraising activities, and I knew that I could help bring the community together to support that.
It is a great initiative. And I love, I mentioned it when we were talking with Sasha Huck, who's also one of the co-chairs. What does it mean to you that there are four women for the first time ever co-chairing this important fundraiser?
Well, first, it's a privilege to have the opportunity to co-chair with such strong leaders, forgetting that they're women or men or other, from our local business community that have achieved so much in their own rights. When we think of care, we do think of women and more traditionally in caregiver roles, and we have that instinct to give, but together, the fact that we're able to bring each one of us our business skills, our networks, and everything to make a difference in people's lives is pretty darn special. And honestly, when we're together, I learn at every session. They have so much. They've achieved so much, and they have so much to offer. It's a privilege.
Pretty darn special. I love that. We are speaking with Maria Della Posta. She's the president of Pratt& Whitney Canada, a member of the MUHC Foundation's board of directors, and one of four co-chairs of this year's Le Bal Rouge. Has philanthropy always been a part of your life, Maria?
More so more recently, but actually
Mm-hmm.
another thing that's, Jean Charest refers to Pratt Whitney Canada as une belle boîte, and it definitely is. And almost since day one here, I learned about this company's commitment to organizations like Cette, for example. And so as a very junior person, I was exposed to the importance of business and those of us who are more fortunate to contribute to making, the beautiful community spirit that we have here possible, and making sure that everybody gets to rise up. So I was exposed to it early on, but of course life happens, and God has graced me with incredible health, but those close to me have been affected by different disease, different challenges, and I think I have the wherewithal and the ability, and it's definitely shown me how important it is to have the kind of care that we are working on at the MUHC, and all of the medical organizations in our midst, to bring better care to every one of us. There's
Yeah,
just so many different dimensions that
there really
need
is.
attention. So yeah, I'm glad to be able to do a little bit more every year, I hope.
Well, your support really is instrumental to the MUHC Foundation. We're speaking with Maria Della Posta, president of Pratt& Whitney Canada. What do you love most about your job, Maria?
Oh, I love, uh, when I said earlier it's a love story, it's a love story because I've
Hmm.
gotten to know the hundreds of thousands of people that have walked through these doors over 38 years. It's so stimulating, and I do work with people who have helped solve and create solutions for some of the most advanced opportunities in the world. There's probably only a couple of other people who, groups or organizations that do what we do here at Pratt Whitney Canada. And so it's incredible. It's incredible that we have been able to pull together teams of people that offer what I believe is the world's most dependable engines and a leader in our space.
Maria Della Posta, thank you so much for coming on the show, for being a member of the MUHC Foundation's board of directors, and for agreeing to co-chair the 2023 Le Bal Rouge. What are you looking forward to most on the night of the 26th of May?
Well, it's a great evening, a great opportunity to interact with people across the community in every walk of life, every industry, and in many cases, many of them have been touched, or their families have been touched by illness, and their own contribution and what they've done to help turn some of that around. I also think for me it's a great opportunity to interact with some of the exceptional doctors and researchers who are making a difference, and the MUHC team. I got it. Well, to you, Tarah, you're a member of that team, but the whole MUHC team is just so talented. It's one of the highlights of the evening for me, for sure. I can't say that enough. Great team. Thank you for everything you do to help us be able to do what we do.
Thank you so much, Maria. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Appreciate it. Have a great day, Tara.
You
Take
too.
care. Bye.